Right, okay, so now let's try to draw this figure and let's try to use some concepts using some of the basic tools, not getting into sort of advanced tools like fillet. Maybe if you're aware of that, you can anytime go for that, and I'll tell you that procedure later. But first instance, I will show you the basic procedure in drawing this figure without knowing much tools. You know, it's the first page right in here. So let's try to as a starter, you might not be aware of much tools. So, first, just ellipses are concentric. So, what we're gonna do here is for the concentric ellipse, you'll be going for the first center method. Right in center method, we would like to have 3 points, which is the first point is here, and the second point is here, and the third point is here. So that's the first thing what you would like to care. You like to place the center point here and turn right into the positive x, showing up 30, which is half of the minor axis or major axis. We don't want to consider if it's major horizontal or major vertical, we'll be carrying the same case. So picking up the first point, and the half of this length is 60, half is 30. And again, let's get into the top, which is half of 110, which is 55. So let's get into here. Alright, okay, maybe if you like, you can have this figure. Yeah, get into photos and shift artist and drag it in and get into AutoCAD, and I like to place it right here. Okay, alright, that figure is right there. And now let's get into ellipse, get into draw ellipse. Or I like to have center method here. Or you can go for ellipse, EL, center. Pick up the first one here, turn on ortho, and just this button here. And like you go for 30, and the height will be maybe half of 110 is 55. Ellipse is right here. Yeah. Turn on dynamic input if required. If it's turned off, it doesn't matter. Okay, right now that's about the first ellipse. Now let's get into the second ellipse, which is also the same procedure. Just first point is here, and second point is here, and the third point is here. Alright, let's try to draw this using the dimension. Half of 50 is 25, and half of 100 is 50. So let's do the same procedure, ellipse, and I go for Command EL. And go for center. Now pick up the first point here. Show up the direction. That will be, I don't remember, that's half of 50, which is 25, and the height goes right into 50. That's it. Oh well, so right now you're having concentric ellipses. Alright, that's great. Right, what we're gonna do here is next let's try to draw these lines here. First let's consider let's try to draw the ellipse. We know there are tons of procedure in drawing this. I'll tell you the most basic procedure, and I'll tell you the most advanced procedure. Right, let's get into the basic procedure. I'd like to tell you, first, let's try to find out the length of this line here. So the total height, which is equal to the length of a major axis, is 100. Half of 100 is 50. So that is 50 is up to here. This is 50. This is 50. Okay, that's great. I don't have anything to write upon. And okay, 50 minus 10, which will give you length of this line. That is 40. So that's it. Line 40. And again, go for 40. Alright, so that's this line here. Right, just the same case, you can find out the length of the other line, which is here. You can find out the length of a major axis is 50. Half of 50 is 25. 25 minus 10, which is the radius, it is 15. So, line going for 15. And again going for 15. Right, we are left up with this gap here. Now, what you can have is, draw an arc by making use of a start and direction. Start and direction. It really doesn't matter how you pick. Right click, repeat it, start and direction. Only one thing that you should care is turn on the ortho. It should be turned on. Start and direction. Right click, repeat, start and direction. Alright, that's the first procedure in drawing this line. If you're much familiarized with AutoCAD, drawing these two lines here, get into fillet. I'll type the radius, it is 10, which is the radius of this arc here. Multiple. Get it to trim and make this option no trim. Now you can pick it up, these two lines here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, that's it. Now what you can do here is trim these intermediary points. That's the second procedure. Okay, do you have more procedures here? I don't think you need more procedures. You can array it, but I don't recommend doing an array right here. You can mirror it, but neither of it. Anyways, you can draw this figure here. Now let's try to draw an arc here. Okay. Before drawing an arc, I'd like to tell you the concept of drawing an arc. Alright. Arc is always measured from the first point, which you click on the major axis. Alright. That's the only one thing required for drawing this figure. I'll repeat it. Arc is measured, or arc is drawn from the first point of major axis which you click. Right. Alright, let's try to analyze the size of these arc here, which is having an axis of 60 and 35 here. So right in this figure, I can say that this is a true case of major axis being vertical. Okay, so 35 and 60. Ellipse, arc, and I like to draw it by making use of a center method, because I like to draw this by making use of center method. Some center point here. Now, in order to see the center point, you like to hover the mouse on top of this ellipse here. Now, first point is here. Now, what about this is a center method? You can say that the distance will be exactly half of 35 and half of 60, which is goes right into 17.5. As is, I think it's half of 35, and as it goes in vertical, that is 60. Half of 60 is 30. Right, now let's try to fill up these angles here. As I told right in here, angles are always measured from the first point of major axis. Alright, this case is being major axis vertical. This is the first point of major axis which I have clicked. Alright, great. So any angle 0 to 90 will be measured right in this second quadrant. Okay, this will be, I can say this is 90 to 180, 180 to 270, and 270 to 360. So that's how this is going. Let's try one more case here. If your ellipse is somewhere over here, this will be the first point of major axis. In that case, you will be having 0 to 90 as first quadrant. That's the only two cases what you would like to learn. So in this case, being major axis vertical, I would like to go for maybe 0, enter, 90, enter. So that's how you'll be drawing this figure. Now, doing up the same thing here, draw an ellipse, arc, center, going horizontally 17.5, and going vertically, that is 60, half of 60 is 30. Alright, I will be right in the fourth quadrant. The angle is 180 to 270, which is the fourth quadrant in major axis vertical case. Similarly, you can draw the other two figures, arcs, which is having an axis of 26 here and 40 here. Alright, let's try to draw it. Draw an ellipse, arc, and center it. Alright, first point is here. Horizontally, I would like to go for, maybe you could have a 26s right here. No matter how your ellipse is being oriented, I like to click the points here. First point is here, second point is here, and third point is here. No matter how your ellipse looks like, point should be always picked like this. Alright, horizontally that should goes right in 13. Half of 26 is 13. Enter. And then vertically that should goes that's showing up 40 here, so I like to have 20 here. Now your arc is in the third quadrant, so 0 to 90 is first, third, second quadrant. So the angle should be like, if you closely observe this figure, this is 0 to 90, and this is 90 to 180. So maybe the angle should be like here, 90 and 180. Right, just like that, drawing up this second arc. Okay, you can mirror it to the second quadrant. Do again, mirror it to this quadrant. Yes. So that's how you'll be mirroring it, okay? It's not quite possible to turn that object right into the opposite side. First turn it to the right side, then put it up. Right, that's how I'll be drawing this figure. Anyways, thanks for watching.